is just fantastic. Captain's Log, Subdates 211012.8. The psychiatrist believes that we need to give the inmates a little personal space, as a way of giving them some dignity. Well, fuck that. We've neuralized, and because we're bored, liquefied and turned that psychiatrist into mandatory spiked butt plugs, just so we can see how far those inmates are willing to go. Hello everyone and welcome to the Halls of Injustice. Before we start today's video concerning inmate number 092, I'd like to address a comment left on my video, Halls of Injustice, Tiffany Tate, from Ellie313. You don't know the whole story. You don't know what the family is going through. I'm friends with Tiffany. She's really nice. Her family is crushing every day because people keep calling her names. Her sister is scared to go outside. Tiffany Tate and her partner Michael Rowe were both convicted of a form of negligence and murder, because Michael Rowe killed their child. The whole story that I know is the only story that was published. If there's more context to it, that is context for you, not for me. What was available, what was published through the courts and through the tabloids. As far as whether or not Tiffany Tate is a good person or not, I cannot agree with you. You may call her friend, but I call her inmate, because that's what she is to me, and her sentence for me is always going to be life. Why? Because her negligence, for whatever reason you want to use, led to the loss of a life, which is unacceptable. As far as punishing her family goes, I cannot support or condone it. They are not responsible for what Tiffany Tate did or did not do when it came to being a good mother. That might not be the nicest way of responding, but I can think of many other harsher ways of putting it. And if you would like to share the additional context, by all means do so. I live to be entertained by tales of how kind and lovely she actually is, when her criminal record says otherwise. So back on topic with today's video and target, 092 aka Abdenour Ben Ali, whose name confused me a fair amount. I thought it was Arbelauer. Turns out that's a whiskey that I'm rather fond of. I am not fond of this man. Here at the Halls of Injustice, we have a wing of inmates filled with cubes for a certain group of criminal that have violated another person's body, autonomy, dignity, taken advantage of, and are paying the price for. Now with those that we get here, what we usually do is remove their genitals, place them inside a clear unbreakable box, embed it in the wall of their cube so they can watch the inmate that is now a eunuch, that is, can watch their genitals rot. We're not the nicest here, but we have a zero tolerance policy for that particular crime. I mention this because Abdenour also is now a eunuch. Well, within this realm, of course it's all just cartoons. But Abdenour Ben Ali is a 30-year-old former plumber from Harrow, Middlesex, who decided to have some fun over a weekend in September 2019 in Brighton. If you've ever been out on the town in Brighton, it's a lot of fun. I went out there once when I was 15. It was just a random thing. A friend of the family, I was staying over, and they decided to go to Brighton. I had some fantastic fish and chips. It was quite a long way to drive though, from Hawley to Brighton, just for a cone of chips. But you know what? It was worth it. Obviously because of my age and my youthful, gorgeous looks, I couldn't get into any clubs. But I'm sure if I could have, I would have. And more than likely would have ended up drunk somewhere after one WKD Blue. Abdenour though decided to attend a nightclub on the 7th of September 2019, which is a Saturday. The nightclub of choice was near Brighton. It was here that Abdenour Ben Ali met an 18-year-old who has been described in every article covering this as vulnerable. No additional context has been given, so there's a lot of gaps. For example, we don't know if this was the first time they'd met, or whether or not they'd been conversing online and decided to meet there, which may well explain why he went all the way from Harrow down to Brighton. And for the sake of it, no, I am not going to imply that it is possible he may well have groomed this person. I'm going to put this out there now. There is no article with any information that would confirm that. I am just positing a possibility that they had conversed before they met. Nothing more. Not long after meeting up with this young lady, Abdenour Ben Ali had managed to get this young lady to agree to go to Brighton Beach, which is a legendary beach. I'm sure it's on many people's buckets list to go and get laid on that beach. At this point though, when they say you got crabs, you didn't get it from the crustacean. And yes, I'm outright stating at this point their beach is a living organism just called crabs. The part of the beach that they went to is near a venue called Shoosh, which is known for its glitzy VIP rooms. That gives you a rough ballpark as to whereabouts on the beach Abdenour Ben Ali and this young lady had gone. It is with this in mind at 4:30 AM on the 7th of September 2019 that Abdenour Ben Ali decided to commit a rather heinous crime. The crime I earlier referenced usually ends up here with them having their genitals removed. I have often just called it graping. No, we're just going to get rid of the G. Rape. These videos never get monetized anyway, so why bother trying at this point? Fortunately for the young lady, people at the Shoosh venue and nearby clubs were working the doors, so the bouncers, and they saw this, they heard it, and 4 of them, being the heroes that they are, sprung into action and subdued Abdenour Ben Ali, where they then kept him detained until the police arrived and arrested him for sexual assault. The young lady was taken to hospital and supported by specialist officers. Now this all happened in 2019, we are now in 2021. There is a rather large gap of almost 2 years, and so we have some problems, and the obvious question is, was he, when he was arrested, remanded to custody, or was he freed until he was, of course, found guilty? We don't know. There are other gaps as well. We don't know what happened during the trial. Much context is actually missing. Now, of course, when it comes to a young, vulnerable victim of a crime like this, much of the information will not be shared. I fully agree with that. I fully support it. How can one live their life if they're constantly being blasted online or in the tabloids? So instead we have to skip ahead, really far ahead, right up to the verdict by Judge Jane Wadekor. Guilty, obviously. 4 bouncers saw him, and it didn't take long for the police to piece this all together with the assistance of the victim. So with this we get a sentence, which may well cause issues. I'm not entirely sure yet. The first is he is placed on the sex offenders register indefinitely. I take no issue with that at all. But the prison sentence might be an issue, because Abdenour Ben Ali was given a sentence of 9 years. Now if he was remanded into custody for 2 years almost, that reduces his 9-year sentence for time served. If not, then he essentially got a sentence of 4.5 years, provided he behaves the entire time he's in there. My view, and therefore my sentence, is a little different. As far as the sex offenders register goes, being indefinite, I fully support that, no issue there. 9 years though, with him only doing essentially 4.5, so potentially only 2.5 at time of this video going public, I'm not entirely sure. So instead I'm going to make it 90 years. Even if you manage to make it half that time, you'd be 75 upon your release. Sayonara, sucker, get in your cell, you filthy rapist. People like you are the reason many people don't like to go out at night on their own, and you should be ashamed of yourself, Abdenour Ben Ali, aka Inmate 092. Now, as we're done, I do apologise for this being a little short, but with information being lacking, I'm not entirely sure what we can do. I will link all that I was able to find down below as a pinned comment. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think, along with the earlier read comment. It is fascinating and I'm intrigued. If I don't see you on Twitch tonight, have a fantastic day, and thank you all very much, except for you, Abdenour Ben Ali, for listening.